I've been staring at this pattern that I've had forever. It came out in 2021, I believe, or is it 2022? 2022, and this is McCall's 8101. I just sat here and cut out the bodice pieces for the view that the model is wearing. You only need 6 pieces for the sleeveless view. You will need 7 pieces if you decide to sew the bodice only with the straps. But I want to just make a muslin just to see how the garment will fit. It also calls for boning, so I'll be giving that a try. And then if I like the way it fits and everything, I may go ahead and sew up the full jumpsuit. The front of this bodice is actually closed, so I just realized that I'm also going to have to cut out this front placket piece, which is piece 13, and then I can actually attach it to the front of the bodice here and then pull it together to see how it's gonna fit, or maybe I'll just pin it together just to get an idea. So I have the first piece done. This pattern is lined, and I'm going to use a green bed sheet to cut out the lining. I did cut out a size 8, and this muslin is very rough. And here's the sheet that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pieces for the lining, and this is how it's looking in the back. I'm using this Rigilene, I'm assuming that's how you say it, boning, and it looks like this. I cut it to the size that I needed, and this is just to stiffen the bodice. It goes on the lining, so I have one piece here, and I just placed it along the seam line, and then I just stitched down each side, here and here, and you'll do that 4 times. So here, 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 and then here. So on the actual picture, let me show you what it looks like. It's going to be this, 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 and this. These are the areas that will have the boning. The boning that I used is just one type of boning. There are plenty of different types of boning. For this pattern, you just press your seams to one side, and then you place your boning within the seam allowance before you stitch it all down. And then when you flip it over, it will look something like this, because you will stitch through all layers. Sometimes when you're putting in boning, you just stitch to just the seam allowance by itself. Sometimes you can stitch the seam allowance down to make a casing and then thread boning through. There are plenty of ways to do it, but I like this one because you can just stitch down the sides. It's not as sturdy or as stiff as some of the other boning that you can use, but I think it's okay. It's also a good idea to finish the top edge of your boning before you put it in your garment. What you could do is clip these edges and then use a lighter and melt them down and press them so that they're nice and neat and not sharp. You could also take some fabric or some twill tape, wrap it around the edge, and stitch it down. Okay, so now that the top is done, I don't know if I want to actually make it for real. So I'm glad I did this muslin. Here's the back, and the boning is in the back and on the sides. And then I did have to put my own push-up bra under here because it wasn't enough support by itself. And if I do end up making this, I will definitely make the view that has the straps. So this is what it's looking like. To be continued. Not sure if I'm going to move forward or not. This might just be it. Just testing it out and making my notes. I made the muslin yesterday. After I made the muslin, I was so unsure about whether I wanted to make the jumpsuit. woke up this morning, I could not stop thinking about the jumpsuit, and I was like, why not? Why not make it? So I went out to get some fabric, and I'm on my way home, and I am going to go ahead and make the actual jumpsuit. So now I'm all excited about it. I just basted the straps onto the bodice, and here is the front. I did use 2 different shades of denim because I had some scraps left over. Next, I'll be working on the lining. I normally cut all my fabric pieces out before I start sewing, but this time I decided to just do them one at a time. So I cut out the bodice piece, I sewed that up, and next I'm going to cut out all my lining pieces. Sew those up, and then I still need to cut out the pieces for the pants. What I'm doing right now is just removing the boning. I figured since it's already cut and I used loose basting stitches, that it would be pretty easy to just go ahead and take it out, and then I could just reuse these boning pieces. So I have 4 pieces of boning that I need to take out, and I will use the melting method to kind of make sure that the ends are not sharp. I don't have a lighter though, so I'll probably just run the boning across the fire on my stove. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I will just round off the edges. I think I'm gonna use my scissors, cut the corners, and then melt them down. So hopefully this won't take too long to take all the boning out. There are darts in the front, and then also front pockets. These are the buttons I'll be using, and after I apply the buttons and hem the garment, I'll be all finished. I need some thread. I'm using my baby lock to sew my buttonholes on. And I don't keep my baby lock plugged in. So now that I have it plugged up, I just need to grab some thread. And my bobbin is okay. Okay. Got my thread. if I mentioned that I made view C, and view C does have the option to add a belt, or I guess any view you can add the belt, and I chose not to make the belt. And for the hem, I'm going to do a 1-inch hem. So I have how many? 2 buttons on and 4 more to go. There are back pockets in the pattern, but I chose to leave the back pockets off. There are also darts in the back. So you have 1 dart on each side, and then you have 2 front darts. And yeah, this is it. I can't believe it took me so long to make this pattern. It took me years. I would look at it and look at it and like, oh no, maybe one day. And it's funny because even after I made the bodice, I was considering not making the jumpsuit. But I was like, you know what, why not? It's been so long. You made the bodice, you're okay with the bodice, just make the jumpsuit. And now I love it. I truly enjoy baking. The way I have everything set up is I have my iPad here with the directions for the recipe I'm making, which is brownies, and then over here I'm using my phone for the ingredients so that I won't have to keep scrolling up and down like trying to figure out what I need. So this bag is empty. I need 2 cups of chocolate chips, and then when I'm ready to add the ingredients to the pan, or when I'm ready to figure out what the next step is, then I'll switch over and look on this side. It's been a while since I've baked anything because I was baking sweets so much, and today I was like, okay, it's time. I love to bake, so I don't want to stop baking. I'll just have to watch how much I eat. My husband's just coming in the door from Home Depot. I'm just pouring the batter in the pan, baby bop.
What about the pizza?
The oven should be, well, I don't think it's preheated enough yet for the pizza, but it is getting warm.
And now, I take a good time.
My husband invited me to breakfast. It is, what time is it? 8:23. I wasn't really that hungry, so we are at Original Pancake House, and I just ordered some potatoes. That's it. So I'm waiting on my order to come. And my husband, what did you get, baby? Blueberry pancakes. I should have known. That's like one of his favorites. He gets that often. That's for me. No, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. They gave him my potatoes. I'm ready, baby. You can pass them over. I'm going to put hot sauce on them because I like my food spicy. Let's see here. So we have a choice of Tabasco or Cholula. And I think I'm going to go with Tabasco. Yum.
So like you were taught, I'm sure that they were taught that in high school or school and in driver's ed, to learn different things. They probably don't teach that anymore. But back in the day, when they're coming up with different things, like they needed systems to identify the way that, the way that the world works or the way that the city works,
After breakfast, we stopped by the bowling alley just to see what kind of leagues they had going on. I was wearing this simplicity dress that I made recently. I just put the denim shirt over the top just because I was a little bit chilly. But this is a dress that I did hack. I changed the neckline, and this was my first time wearing the dress out.